WWF, what the world is watching.
It's time to ramble! It's the Royal Ramble! Featuring El Aranya, Brother of Discussion Will, Drummer John, the Carolina Bad Boy Chapel, and Brother of Discussion Grayson. It's the Royal Ramble!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. No, we've done that shit already. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Drummer John with Post to Post Wrestling Podcast. Want to welcome everyone to the first ever Royal Ramble, Post to Post Wrestling Royal Ramble. We got the Royal Rumble coming up this week. So to celebrate that, we're going to be talking a lot of things Royal Rumble, just like the Rumble. We're going to have some special guests popping in. We're going to have special commentary by Weatherman. You guys know him. You hear him every week. He loves him, so sell some Jim Cornette. So we'll see what he's got to say on commentary there. So I think, hold on, who we got coming down here? We got our first entrant into the Royal Ramble. Let's see who it is. We got a little countdown here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we got Will. What's going on, Will? One half of the Brothers in Discussion joining us. What's going on, Will?
Boo, hiss, you suck.
I know. Imagine.
No, I was talking about me. I'm the boring one. Nah, everything's good, man. The Royal Rumble, it's one of maybe like 2 times a year I look forward to watching WWE.
I was like, you're not the boring one. You're the one that hates WWE. When my friends out here listen to the podcast, they're like, man, that guy hates WWE. I'm like, that's Will.
At least I've earned my reputation, honestly.
That's what when we do the Ramble next year, that's what we need to bring on. We need to bring on my guitarist, Hans. He's a big wrestling fan. I'm actually probably going to be watching the Royal Rumble with him on Sunday. But he would be a good addition to the show. Plus, he actually listens to the show. He'll hit me up on Thursday, like last Thursday. He's like, the tampons? Come on.
I do hope I want to hear more people talk about that at some point. I just wish we could get some people to actually interact with the damn fucking web pages and stuff. But no one ever does. I'm just like, this was fucking gold last week.
We ask him to. And I've got a new segment that I want to introduce this week. You know, because as kids and even as adults, you know that thing fucking Where's Waldo? Mm-hmm. Well, I got a new one called Where's Douchebag? Because in the fucking Thunderdome, every fucking week, if you guys look at our Facebook page, there's this one fucking dude. He looks like fucking Josh Gad. He wears the same goddamn clothes, the same reaction every fucking week. And I'm pretty sure it's just a recording of the same fucking dude over and over and over again. They're piping in those crowd reactions. So, for you guys, anybody out there who wants to participate, if you see this son of a bitch on SmackDown, NXT, Raw, or any of the fucking pay-per-views, I want you to snap a picture of this fucker. I want you to circle him with a little edit tool and put it on our Facebook page. I want you guys to see what I'm talking about. And I'm the guy who goes to fucking the Thunderdome every week. And it just pisses me off when you've got good fans who aren't going to fuck over the show and put up, AEW, Bullet Club, Kenny Omega shit, who want to participate, and we can't get on fucking screen or camera. I haven't been on screen or camera in 5 fucking weeks now, but they will pipe in the same motherfucker. Or, here's another fun one, too, that I did this week. When you see the same fucking person twice in the same shot. If you go back to Raw this week, there's a kid in a green shirt. You could see him twice. He's up to the left behind the ring announcers. Clear as day. Twice. Today on Super Spectacle, Super Debacle as I like to call it, they had a shot of the announcers And they had the same fucking guy twice, right behind the announcers. I shit you not, dude. So any Thunderdome shit like that you guys out there see, I want to fucking see it just to prove that I'm not batshit insane. You know, seeing the same some bitch week after week and stuff like that. And there's another one who's getting on my radar, Mexican flag guy. He's been popping up a lot too, with the same clothes and the same Mexican flag and all that shit. Yeah, I was just about that voice. Read my mind. Hold on, I think we got. Here we go. We got another entrant. Who we got coming down, Will?
Who is that? Looks. It's the other half. It's the other half
of the discussion. What's going on, Grayson? Welcome to the conversation.
It's crowd a master pump. Commercial.
Crowd pump. Come on.
Do you need to get crowd sound effects in there too?
Ooh, his. No, we're good enough.
Let me climb the turnbuckle and lift one fist in the air. Woo!
Visualize it.
That's literally how I have Mox posed on my ring right now.
That's how everyone does it.
And Hangman. They're both on the ring like that.
And motherfucking Hangman. But yeah, man, it's going pretty good. It's just another night. How it is.
So, Grayson, were you the only one catching on, besides myself, of how John can, no matter how many times he says he's never going back, he always goes back to Thunderdome?
I said it twice. So there's another advantage to me going into Thunderdome, other than getting fucking frustrated and playing Where's Douchebag. I also get to free up the TV for the rest of my family so they can watch actual TV instead of me taking it over every Monday for 3 hours. I instead watch it on my computer with headphones on, where I silently applaud and whatnot so I don't disturb them. And we get to hang out in the same room at the same time. So that's a good thing.
Fair enough.
There's another reason behind it, yeah. Are Grayson, are you going to play Where's Douchebag with us?
Probably not.
You suck, dude.
I know. The one thing that came to mind when John started saying that is we need someone who will do us a solid and put the douchebag, superimpose him over the old Powell Peralta animal chin shirt and have you seen him underneath?
I can't help but fucking see. I'm surprised. I was really, really surprised when I was watching Superstar Spectacle today that they didn't tint that motherfucker's skin brown and put him in the audience.
That would have been incredibly problematic.
I would have called him out in a fucking heartbeat, dude. There would have been pictures up within minutes. I would have fucking gotten that ass.
Got him in moments.
I would have gotten that ass. But I mean, that last week when I posted pictures of him on our Facebook page, within fucking minutes, dude was gone. So, every week we talk about these coincidences with, especially WWE in our podcast. The newest one, last week, one of our sponsors gets fucking signed to a WWE contract. Fucking Priscilla Presley and her terribly tainted tampons?
Oh, God.
Yeah, Priscilla Kelly's terrible tainted tampons.
Yeah, so she becomes a sponsor of ours and the next day gets signed to a WWE contract. Is it coincidence? I think not.
Synthetic woven fibers for perfect moisture absorption.
They didn't change her name, though. So she's now going by
Gogi
Dolan.
Golgi, that was it.
What?
Gogi or Goji Dolan. And sounds a lot like Darby Allin, phonetically. Oh, okay, here's some breaking news right now. As you guys know, the 2/3 of the Rascals debuted in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. And the third one, Trey Miguel, did not. Trey Miguel is on Impact right now.
Oh, I'm damn.
So I guess he is now. He's grown a little hair. It's kind of blondish. He's got a little Ricochet look going on, almost. If Ricochet had blonde hair.
Interesting.
There you go. There's some breaking news, straight from the fucking current Impact. Here's how. We have another entrant. We have another entrant. Oh, and coming to the ring, we've got the Carolina Bad Boy, Ciampa.
Oh, what is going on? I got a bottle of Jaeger in one hand and a Bang energy drink and a Macho Man koozie in the other. I'm ready to eliminate somebody. And I'm hoping the next entry is Falcon, because I will eliminate him faster than Luke of the Bushwhackers in 1991's Royal Rumble.
We got somebody else coming down the aisle. Who do we got coming down?
Hey guys, it's Falcon. Oh shit, I'm out. Well, back to editing.
Bang energy drink? Dear God, man.
Oh. There's no caffeine. I mean, there's plenty of caffeine. There's no sugar in this, so you know.
Okay.
If I gotta stay up at night, one Bang will do it. I'm not a multi-energy drink guy. It's only like every once in a blue moon, you know.
Oh,
Ciampa, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You gonna play Where's Douchebag with me?
If I watched enough WWE, I might. It's just hard.
You gotta watch 5
I mean,
minutes.
when I go through my YouTube clips, so I don't have to watch an entire show, I'll definitely look for him.
there we go.
I can make you that wrong. I can at least make you that wrong.
How are we supposed to generate fan participation if the old fucking guys on the show aren't even gonna do it?
Well, tell them to make better product and quit over, like, you know, I mean, it's like everything's to the T of scripts. Jesus Christ. Have some fucking improv. I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of this, you know, we spent 20 minutes on a fucking promo. Let's get the promo out of the way and get right to what people want to see.
Now, my favorite part about his rant right there was the transition made it sound like he was talking about us. But we don't script shit. We make a fucking outline, and the next thing you know, we're talking about fucking energy drinks for 30 minutes. I mean,
we do an outline and we're off it within 10 minutes.
I know.
I think we beat it by like 5 minutes this week. Like, okay, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about this, and then boom, energy drinks.
Let's make a segue with energy drinks and talk about the man that looks like he's drank enough energy drinks to destroy the world and kill everyone in it. Ryback.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So you know what? No, hold on. We got somebody else coming down the aisle. We got to get everyone in. We've got, oh my god, it is the partner and art director of Boss Fight Studios. Welcome back, everyone. Eric Araña, what's going on, Eric?
Le tengo miedo a las arañas, which means I'm afraid of spiders.
I love it.
Perfect.
The drink of choice tonight, guys, is coffee-infused tequila.
I myself am going with Kirin Ichiban.
Oh, nice. Grayson, what do you drink?
Arrogant set.
And Eric, what's on tap?
I'm drinking some Apothic red wine.
Ooh, classy.
Is it?
Yeah.
$9 a bottle. I don't think is what it is.
Well, let's put it this way: like liquor, beer, and then wine is always considered classy unless it's in a box.
That's true. That's true. I went to college in Savannah, Georgia, and I would drink White Zinfandel most of the time, and yeah, that was considered classy, and that's the PBR of wines. So,
Did you go to SCAD?
I did go to SCAD.
Oh, my ex-wife is from Savannah, so when she took me to Savannah, she showed me SCAD, where she eventually went as well.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
My wife and I took our honeymoon in Savannah. We actually love it there in Tybee Island.
let's get back to the conversation.
Ryback.
We were about to talk about the fucking. I got to be careful what I say about this fucking man because apparently he's getting lawyers now and shit and lawyering up for slander. I don't need.
What's he gonna sue us for? A nickel? We don't make any money.
He might sue me for the engine out of my fucking car. I just got that back. I can't lose that.
He's gonna garnish our wages. What wages?
We're talking about the big guy, Ryback. So there was some scuttlebutt going on this week that Ryback was getting signed. He said that he's going to be back on TV soon, and it's going to be the competition because, as everyone knows, he fucking hates the WWE. So a lot of that attention went to AEW. So going to AEW. So Mark Henry comes out and basically says he's an unsafe worker. AEW shouldn't sign him because he's a liability, blah, 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 shit like that. And now Ryback is saying he's going to lawyer up and he's going to sue WWE, he's going to sue Mark Henry, he's going to sue some other fucking company that did the podcast that he spoke on.
I don't think he's got a leg to stand on. Not at all.
I don't think so.
Because if they didn't like legit slander him and all they did was state their opinion and things that they have witnessed, all he's got is just his word against theirs. That's it.
And he's got people who are backing him up. He's even got wrestlers who are backing him up. Sonny Kiss went on record and backed him up today, but Sonny likes it rough. So
Sonny works hard.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, can't the man be happy? He does YouTube videos with porn star Phoenix Marie, for Christ's sakes. I mean,
next week he's gonna have a press conference on the Thunderdome where he talks about the lawsuit and
oh my God.
Can you imagine if you saw him on the Thunderdome, like, front and center?
I just hope that he wears, like, a suit and tries to look important. Because all I'm thinking of is Ryback giving a dissertation to a bunch of people in a really shitty wrestler voice in his singlet. Trying to be serious and get people
If he was in a suit, you could paint him purple and he'd look like McGill a gorilla, for fuck's sake.
Well, while you guys are busy playing fucking Where's Douchebag with me, we'll play Where's Ryback also, see if his dumbass shows up in there.
He won't be there. He's on the banned list. Come on, we already know it. You know his picture's hanging up on the wall with the Young Bucks and everybody else?
Yeah, his picture was on there, actually. Come to think of it.
Ryback. But other than that, since we're in the land of AEW because of Ryback and his big old mouth, so I know that last week was a pretty solid Dynamite. We saw, the debut of Butler Charles. And how much he hated being a butler.
He played it to a T. It was pretty good.
It was good. Butler Charles Taylor was wonderful.
The Kentucky gentleman.
Yep. The Kentucky gentleman.
I got to do something while Beretta's out to keep him relevant. Old Chucky T, because he's going to be out for a while.
Oh yeah, Beretta.
Like 6 months, I think, at least.
Something along those lines, yeah.
It's like a pec, if I'm not mistaken, it's a pec injury. If I'm not.
Yeah, torn pectoral muscle.
And they're talking about the same timeline for Penta.
Yep.
Really? Oh,
really that long?
Yeah, the Penta news has it been confirmed? Because last I checked, it hadn't been confirmed, but it's pretty obvious that he was taken out for a reason.
What was the exact injury?
I'm not actually sure. That's why I'm asking if it was.
They're not saying. The articles that I read said, to Eric's point, that they beat the shit out of someone last week who clearly was not Penta.
That was hilarious.
And he looks to be out for a while. They've already replaced replaced Pac in the match at Beach Break. Is taking his place with Ray Phoenix and John Moxley versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. But they're not saying anything about the injury. I know a couple weeks back they put him through a table and they were saying he had a neck injury.
I thought it was... Oh, okay. That was the more recent one, because the one before that wasn't that they put him through the table and they said it was like his leg or his ankle or something.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? I thought it was
that. That was the one back before the holidays, I think.
Okay. Yeah, the one where they put him through the table.
But now, before we get too far, I'm going to mix languages. I'm going to dub the Pentagon from last week Doppelgon. Doppelgon Jr.
Nice.
I can't remember where I read it. There was nothing confirmed where it was a leg injury. He sustained an injury to his leg while training, and that's why they put him through the timekeeper's match table as a way to keep him out of the match. So now they're saying that he's injured again, and he's going to be out, and also saying in parentheses is a long time.
Really sucks, man. Because I know a lot of you guys here feel the same way. We were glad to see Pac and the Lucha Bros back together.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
yeah.
I was seriously very happy about that. Because I'm definitely, I don't call myself a mark for a whole lot of guys out there now, but I'm definitely a mark for Pac. I love his matches. I love his style. I love him as a heel. Definitely. Anything he did as Neville. I mean, once Neville started turning heel, that was when we started seeing that side of him.
Yeah.
You know, and I love where he's gone with that character now.
Yeah.
And
Once Neville grew a beard, it was on.
Yeah, it's over.
Without a
I
beard.
never want to see that dude a baby face again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of that dude earlier today, and goddamn, if he don't look like one of the fucking creatures from Lord of the Rings, with the fucking enlarged forehead and the hair and the fucking ears that stick out, it's like, goddamn.
So you're saying that Pac, shaven, looks like either a goblin or an orc or Golem. Which one?
Whichever one has got long, stringy, thin hair and ears that point outwards.
All of the above.
All of the above, yeah.
Take your fucking pick.
All of the above.
Maybe Gollum if Gollum was on the juice.
There we go. It's Gollum on the juice. But other than that, I think like the main big thing, setups over the past couple weeks, and another one we saw from last week, the ridiculous Don Callis and Bucks vignette in the Weird Mansion, Beetle Boots Kenny, and then the setup for what I think is going to be a nasty little backstabbing of the Good Brothers towards the Bucks tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's the writing's on the wall there. It's like, sure, they did the For Life. They've got the T-shirt made of everyone doing the Too Sweet, but the way it's set up right now, and the way they did the Kenny's best friends in the world, the Good Brothers, and swerve the Bucks that way. I feel like since they're going up against Dark Order, they're going to give Dark Order a hell of a rub by really like making the AEW tag champs take the pin tomorrow night.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
I'm still very on the fence for a babyface Dark Order. Even with the whole Brody Lee thing, I get the push after that.
I don't think they're going to go face. I think they're going to hit that. I think for a while they're going to ride that weird middle ground, kind of like Mox does.
Yeah, well, it's a very different mid ground compared to Mox. Where Mox is sort of like he's like the badass. He's the Stone Cold Steve Austin type. Where they rely a little on comedy on their side of it. You know, at the same time, it's like we know you're heels, but it's kind of comical. You know.
Yeah. That's
So people find them entertaining, which, you know, being the Elite episodes on YouTube help, you know, a lot. And John Silver, I can't get enough of that dude. I love John.
He's fucking awesome.
He's fucking all the little like all the very homoerotic shit he does just tickles the shit out of me.
good old Johnny Hungy.
Yeah.
I love you. You're so handsome.
Like the whole time when he was him and what's the other dude? His tag partner.
Alex.
Yeah, when they're like talking to Wardlow backstage at one of the being the Elites, and he's just going on about how handsome he is and all this shit, you know, trying to get him. It's just a bunch of dudes hanging out, man. Bunch of cool dudes.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Wardlow's face is just like, yeah, I gotta be somewhere. You know what I mean?
Oh, now, before I forget, one of the it slipped my mind, and it goes back to our conversation on action figures before the show. But one of the new, I feel like one of the new AEW figures, the alternate head, looks just like fucking Reynolds.
Really?
Yeah.
Which alternate head on who?
Which one? Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Is it Matt Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah. I was about to say it.
The new Matt Jackson head just makes me think of Reynolds. When I look at it, I see Reynolds.
What is with Matt Jackson and that 1994 Shawn Michaels cross earring? Like, what is that?
He's just...
Dude, he's Christian as fuck.
Christian as fuck, yeah. I know that's... But I mean, it's just like, it just screams Shawn Michaels 1994, you know what I mean?
Well, maybe they're going to build up to a point where Matt Jackson puts his brother through a fucking window of some...
well, they already did that on Being the Elite, too. They already did like faux version.
But for real this time.
Oh, for real this time? We're going to do it at a real barbershop.
Yeah. They're going to shave off his sideburns and he's going to kick Nick through a window.
So in order for you to do customs of the former Beaver brothers, to do Reynolds and Silva, you're going to use a Matt Jackson for Alex Reynolds, and then you'll use Puck from Alpha Flight for John Silver.
That is fucking hilarious. I'm a fucking comic book fan, and that shit is hilarious.
Man, if it weren't for the fact that a Puck figure from the Legends line wasn't going to run you nearly $100,
yeah,
it would probably work. But I would have to say you'd probably have to just like you'd have to make an awkwardly tall John Silver, or you'd have to use the closest you would get is use an old Neville or Pact body from before he left WWE, and put like Grand Metallic or like Kalisto legs on it just to make him shorter, and then just sand the shit out of them and make them look like bear legs. Because those are the only legs that are actually short and muscular.
It makes sense. Sense. If you're going to make it to scale, for sure.
Scale-ish.
Scale-ish, yeah.
Scale-ish. Yeah, let's see. So we don't have a whole lot of AEW stuff to go over this week because most of it is just like reactions from last week and just like that little bit of speculation. Most of us are kind of in agreement that something shystie's happening with the Good Brothers and the Bucks. Sure. But the other big thing is just due to how TNT is like throwing out all sorts of shit on their programming that competes with the AEW time slots. It seems like Revolution has been pushed back, 1-2 days, John?
Well, they backed it up again another day. So originally it was scheduled for Saturday, March 6th. And they backed it off that night because there is a UFC that takes place that night. So they backed it up to March 7th. But now, March 7th is possibly going to be the NBA All-Star Game. That conversation happened earlier today, so it's possible that it might
They
get
might
moved again.
scrub it,
It's gonna
put
have
it the whole
big
next
competition. Yeah, it's possible. Unless there's a WWE pay-per-view coming up that weekend. I don't remember.
I don't think there really is, because to my knowledge, it goes Rumble then Mania, doesn't it? Or is there one in between?
There's one in between, Elimination Chamber.
And then there's
Oh,
Fastlane.
Okay,
And
so
then-
two.
Yeah, it's Elimination and Fastlane, and then it's Mania.
Okay.
Because
So WWE
Fastlane's
has-
the first Fastlane's the first pay-per-view being shown on NBC.
Okay. And that's in fucking...
That's got to be March
March.
after March 18th, because that's when the Peacock thing comes to pass.
Okay. Well,
Maybe you guys have talked about this in a previous episode. What do you think the end game for this TNT AEW thing crisscrossing is? Do you think they're just kind of running with it right now for fun? You know, because it kind of boosts the ratings of both, or do you think they actually have some sort of end game in mind, story wise?
I don't know how accurate boosting the watching of, but it's definitely boosting Impact for sure.
Well,
It's
yeah.
giving that company a lot more, but I don't think AEW's got less to gain from this partnership, which is why I think they're going to belt Kenny Omega over there. I think they're going to continue with the belt collector angle. He's currently the AAA Mega Campeon. He's currently the the AEW champion. I think he will get a belt in TNA, possibly Rich Swann's belt, or maybe they put the old TNA belt that Moose is carrying around on him. But if he's going to be a belt collector, he needs to commence with the collecting.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I've mentioned this previously, that this is, and all the Bullet Club gear that they've been wearing over on Impact, and even the Bullet Club related shit they've been doing on Dynamite, I feel like this is just step one of the further multi-promotion crossovers.
Yeah.
Well, did you know why Kenny Omega was wearing that Bullet Club shirt? He didn't plan on having that. Gallows had that in his bag, and they just thought it was funny for him to come out in it.
Well, either way, Gallows had full-blown Bullet Club.
Yeah, he did, and so did Machine Gun.
Yeah, I think they probably just had one ready to go, so that way they all matched, just in case. But it still seems like it's a pretty good clue in, because why else would Gallows dig into the days of yesteryear to pull out a full-blown Bullet Club ring gear, just to have a one-off joke? I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility, but it seems like just teasing a crossover more than anything.
Well, I think the fact that Tamatonga is being vocal the way he is more of a clue of cross-promotional stuff.
Agreed.
I think if he wasn't saying shit and wasn't getting involved, I wouldn't think too much about it. But with him talking over in New Japan about it, that makes me think that there's something going to what Eric's saying. There's going to be something more there.
Yeah. And Eric, what were you about to add in?
Well, I always kind of remind myself over and over again that there's a bit of cross promotion with the AAA as well. With when Kenny Omega came out a couple weeks ago and he was wearing the AAA Mega Champion belt, and I always kind of, because AAA is kind of broadcasting and doing shows so sporadically through the pandemic. I always kind of forget that Penta and Phoenix are the tag champions over there, and Taya is the Ranis de Ranis, the champion over there. So there is some other crossover that they could do with some AAA stuff as well. Which if the three of them really kind of get together and do some cross promotion, they could really kind of do something special. Also, I guess recently, Black Taurus and Laredo Kid have been on TNA on Impact recently. So
Oh shit, Black Taurus.
yeah,
That
And
motherfucker has an impressive and very intimidating ring attire.
Oh yes, he does. It is awesome.
That is still the one custom figure that I made that drove me fucking insane making.
Oh sure.
God damn. Like,
And it didn't break
I
the heart.
hate all the pictures I took of it now. I wish I had more, but I sold it for like nearly $300. So I'm just
Well,
okay.
that's worth it. And hey, we're making one, so you'll
Hey,
I would like to throw in on this cross promotional thing here. You know, we've dropped all the names like Impact, New Japan, AAA. I mean, they started with NWA, really.
oh yeah,
Help
you're not wrong.
NWA. But I'm such an old school guy. I remember when they tried to have like the big super show, all these wrestling companies coming together because they all hated Vince and they all hated WWF and they thought they'd have this one big show and try to show that they had the better wrestling, which they probably did have some of the most like the better talent. But the problem there is all the bookers, all the people, well, not just bookers, just the people who own the stuff like Vern Gagne and Jerry Jarrett and all these people. They couldn't get along because they wanted their top guy to be the top guy. As to where now all these wrestling companies can come together to show, hey, guess what, Vince? We have a better product when it comes to pure wrestling than you do. We don't have the budget. We don't have all this flash and gaga. But what we do have is talent. And we're going to showcase it and on all these multiple platforms. And we're all going to work together to show you that we have the better product when it comes to actual pro wrestling. And can get along and do it now. In this day and age, maybe they are able to throw egos aside this way. I'm hoping, is what I'm saying. Especially with Kenny Omega being the idea of him being the belt collector in different companies that's just amazing. Because it hasn't. When's the last time it was done? And I mean, like multiple titles like that. I Ultimo Dragon had like I don't know how many at one time.
Oh, when he was the Grand Prix champion and he had those 10 title belts. Holy shit, that was my favorite.
That was amazing.
Such a good. Yeah, that was brilliant.
I hope that you make an accessory kit and an Ultimo Dragon figure, and it comes with a bazillion belts. Because
Dragon.
Well,
that would be badass.
You have my heart forever now.
He's in the same wave as Black Taurus, actually.
Oh, be still, my heart.
He's not going to have 10 belts.
He accessory pack, just like your tables and light bulbs. Accessory pack. Upgrade your Ultimo Dragon with the Grand Prix accessory pack. Fucking for it. Here you go. Take my money. I don't know how to 3D sculpt and I don't have a resin printer, so I am definitely not making my own belts. Oh, Jesus. But speaking of some belt collector stuff, before we touch on a couple more Impact things and dive deep and heavy into the land of the McMahons, here's the one thing that I hope happens more than anything in this cross-promotional stuff we're kind of seeing happen, especially with NWA. I want someone from another promotion to beat the shit out of Nick Aldis.
Really? Wow.
Not going to happen.
I know, but I want it to so bad.
His boy.
I want it to so bad because he doesn't do shit. He doesn't do a goddamn thing. He's wrestled like one fucking match in the past year.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Mike Kanellis.
Yeah, he wrestled Mike Kanellis. And Mike Kanellis made him look like a bitch.
Hey, that's the man who's been carrying that company for the last 4 years, according to him.
Well, shit, everyone else seemed to be carrying it while he was standing there just carrying a belt around.
Well, I mean, when the ship started sinking, everybody else jumped ship. Ricky Stark, Eddie Kingston, all these people were jumping ship, except for like what Nick Aldis, and
I mean, Thunder
hell,
Rosa
Cole Cabana jumped quick.
Cole Cabana jumped before it started to sink.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Thunder Rosa's still with them as far as I know, even though she's doing a ton of fucking AEW work. I think she's going to have a contract with both companies here pretty soon. But like, I want Aldis to just fucking legit take one for the goddamn team and let that belt get some exposure somewhere else, because he's not doing a goddamn thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Aldis is a great worker. I enjoy Aldis's work, but like,
don't get me wrong,
he hasn't been putting in the work.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get me wrong. When he works, he can work well, but like you just said, he has not been doing the work.
Yeah, put in the work. Put this title over to make it. I mean, they've been putting over the women's title on AEW.
No shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's the deal? Why can't we get Nick Aldis on the show? What's his? I mean, I don't know. I don't have no idea.
I'm gonna go with his character's ego is real and not a character.
Right? Oh shit. You may be correct, sir. But he does bang Mickey James, so what do we know?
You know?
Boy.
He's like, I don't need to work. Come here, Mickey.
This is all the work I'm putting in.
This is all the work I'm putting in today. And I'm no selling every minute of it.
That was a South England accent.
I know, it's terrible.
I know, it was real bad, but it was real good at the same time. Let's talk about Impact and some silly things going on over there. Most silly, their Twitter fuck up with Rich Swann and
So, on their Twitter account, they had a picture of Rich Swann looking at Moose's TNA title, and their tweet said, Falaba eyeing the TNA World Championship. And it was only up for like 10 minutes, but that was enough time. It's on the internet. It will live forever. Screams were taken. Comments were done. Okay. Come on, man. It's Rich Swann, 190 pounds soaking wet, and Falaba pushing 350, and Filipino.
They just need to own it and just make a gag out of it, and just every week posts pictures of the talent with the wrong quote.
No, every week it's someone else looking at Moose's belt and it says Falaba eyeing the. And then when it is actually Falaba, it says Rich Swann.
Yeah.
Bring it full circle.
That would be funny.
Other than that, I guess I know we mentioned it last week when we talked about Hard to Kill and how Matt Cardona showed up. Apparently it's official. Matt Cardona's going to be over there for a little while. He's like, it's my home for now.
That's what he's saying. He said in an interview that that's where his future is for now.
Yeah. And guaranteed the only reason that is because that's where his boy Brian Myers is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Him and Cody were pretty tight. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I mean, what could Impact give him that AEW couldn't?
Well,
maybe location during the pandemic where they're shooting everything. I don't know.
I think it's more along the lines of just he doesn't have a podcast with Cody.
Understandable. I get that.
I really think
but
that
at the same time,
factor.
I just feel like it's not that he didn't have exposure with WWE, but see, I can't even get it out because I don't watch it anymore. But I mean, you know, they dropped the ball with him too. You know, he was like that one guy who really used the internet to his advantage to get over.
Yeah.
And you know, it worked for a while, and then they dropped the ball with him. And you know, he's a great talent. He's super talented, super charismatic. He's somebody you can make money with. So I don't see what the problem is. And, you know, I would figure...
It wasn't good shit.
Yeah, good. That's good shit.
Oh, he's throwing up!
He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke. But no, I was figuring he would get better exposure at really showcasing his real talent on AEW than he would Impact. I think there would be more eyes watching him. But, I mean, he must have a reason, I'm sure. You know, but like you said, he don't have a podcast with Cody. So.
Well, the intro to Cody's podcast would take like an hour.
Oh God, true. I absolutely. We were watching Dynamite the other night, and I looked at my wife and I said, "God, I hate Cody's entrance music."
Oh, I fucking hate it too. It's such a fucking ego stroke.
Okay. That's pretty much it. So, shall we dive into that wonderful, wonderful world of Vince and his toadies?
Yes.
Let's start off with a very heartfelt condolences to the McMahon family on the passing of Rod McMahon, Vince's older brother, passed away last week. That's why Vince was not at the Friday or Raw tapings. He wasn't on SmackDown or Raw or Superstar Spectacle this week because he's laying his brother to rest. So again, from post to post to Vince McMahon and your entire family, we love giving you shit every week, but our hearts go out to you, man.
You agree. But yeah, sure. Honestly, to take the setup that I cannot resist, were the shows better when he wasn't there?
I still played Where's Douchebag, so I mean, that was a plus.
Well, I mean, that happens no matter what, because we've said it 100 times. You're an addict. You cannot get away from it.
Well, it can't be as good as the times of like DX when Vince wasn't there and Shawn Michaels is crotch chopping JR in his face. At the, you know what I mean? Shit like that.
No, we had nothing like that going on any of the shows. We did have another Nia Jax moment on Monday night. Well, we two things in that match. So first off, it was they had a 6-woman match: Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Lacey Evans versus Charlotte Flair and Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. And in that match, they were both outside of the ring. Mandy, I think it was Mandy and Shayna Baszler, and Shayna did not beat the 10 count. And per Vince McMahon, if they, don't meet a count, if they don't kick out in time, if they, hold a illegal move too long, any of that shit, they call the match. They have to follow the referee's instructions. And Shayna did not get in the ring in time, and they ended the goddamn match. And you could just see the confusion. Like, there was legitimate what's going on. So they sent Adam Pearce out from the back during the commercial break, and he restarted the match. So, I mean, they had that going on, but, they immediately, once the 10 count was there and little celebrating, normally you would expect the heels to attack, at that moment, but they didn't. They cut the commercial, and when they came back, the match was restarted. So that was the first thing of the match. And then the second thing was Dana Brooke taking a scary bump from Nia Jax. We talked about the last one last time, and Grayson was pretty adamant that it wasn't her fault on that one, that it was Mandy Rose. And, we can go either way on that, but I mean, it's just, in my opinion.
There's no either way on that. That was Mandy Rose.
It's just too frequently that her name is being associated with bad bumps.
Oh no, this one I don't remember if I saw it. I watched Raw actually for the first time, and just saying, Hulu said last time I watched Raw was June 21st, something like that, somewhere around late June. So 7 months clean, and I broke it, so I got to go back to AA. Because it was just
would it be like RWA Raw Watchers Anonymous or something?
There you go. Yeah.
But,
wrestling. Yeah. But I don't remember if I saw this one, so I can't speak on it. Now, I'm not saying that Nia Jax is safe. No, she's dangerous as fuck. But Mandy Rose spot was Mandy Rose's fault, and I will not count that against her.
Maybe
that was gnarly, and that was all Nia Jax. I'm watching it right now. She went up for a power bomb and turned it into like a one-handed choke bomb slam.
I seen it. That's clean as shit. She moved her legs out from under her and landed her just like she needed to. Was it a little rough? Yeah, it was a little rough, but she did that. She took care of her. She did not at all try to hurt her in that move. I seen the exact same. Now it's rough. That's a rough landing.
Mm-hmm.
No fact.
It looked like landing back of her head.
And guess what? That was up to me. You know what I mean? That was up to me. And I'm sure she knew that was coming, and it looked too fluent for them to not have practiced that move before.
No, that looked choppy as hell, dude.
Come on, dude. Twitter.
Dude, she looked like she hit worse than when Vampiro broke his fucking neck. That shit looked
Jesus.
absolute.
The weigh-in?
Now you're going to make me bring up the Undertaker podcast on Joe Rogan and how he pretty much said everybody from this generation is pussies. So, because all they want to do is look on their phones and shit, play video games.
Agree that Nia Jax should wrestle Goldberg and hurt him so he never comes back.
Please, I wish she would. I wish she would. My God, why? He is. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can't take away his legend status. It is what it is. But now it's just kind of like, why are we pushing Goldberg to be champion when we have so many other people in this roster who fucking deserve it and can help push this company into the next, century, basically. Yeah. We've got all this great talent that can do that. That can take us to the next level. But no, what do we do? We regress back to Goldberg? Jesus Christ. Please stop. Please stop doing this. This is why I don't watch your show anymore.
Well, that right there, and all the hate on Goldberg makes me think I'm going to go ahead and transition us over to the Rumble, and we're just going to start with Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. And I'm going to write down that Corey says,
Drew.
"Fuck
I'm
Goldberg."
so fucking sorry for Drew. God Almighty, he's going to have to work overtime. And I'm not saying it because I'm not someone who just hates Bill Goldberg. But I'm like, first of all, Bill's so limited now, and you're not going to get that same explosiveness. You're not going to get that. I mean, you could go back and look, even when he was at his peak. Goldberg's never been the best wrestler. He's always been in there with people who made him look 10 times better than he was. Yeah. But he had the strength. He had the charisma, not in promos, mind you, just physical, everything he did in the ring. He had everything you need to make a monster. And, and it worked. It worked for a really long time. And now, just like bringing him back, it's like, the Brock Lesnar shit worked because Brock knew how to make it work. And, they ended that with Brock winning, but at the same time, still making Goldberg look good. Brock made Goldberg look like $1 million. That's a fact. And Goldberg's limited. He's always been limited. He's never been the best damn wrestler. But, if you work towards his positives, you can make a great match. And Drew's going to have to work his ass off to make his style mesh with Goldberg's style.
So what you're saying, let me boil this down for everyone listening. What you're saying is Goldberg's going to be champion this weekend.
Yes, that's what I'm exactly saying.
Yeah, no way. No way. No way in hell.
It's almost not to say that Brock is in the same category, but he is kind of in the same category. Even though Brock's not as limited when he works, but it's really the same thing. Brock's more of an attraction than he is a full-time superstar.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the same thing with Goldberg. It's the name. It is what it is. People remember and they're like, fuck, man. I mean, he's this old and he's still in good shape. But at the same time, people who really know pro wrestling understand that, you know, it's all about the guy he's working with.
Yeah.
And
All right.
Drew's amazing. Drew is great.
Drew's
But he's
fantastic.
really going to be put to the test this Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All right. So let's go ahead and make it official. So, Chapel, you're taking Goldberg.
I'm saying I want it to be Drew.
Okay.
But I'm
Grudgingly
pretty
Goldberg.
sure I'm pretty sure they're going to put it on Goldberg just to have him have a small little stint with it for a while, and then he'll give it up again.
All right. Eric.
I think slash hope that they're gonna use this to push Drew.
I hope. I'm with you.
Going with Mac. Gotcha. Grayson?
Neither.
Double
Neither.
DQ, you say.
Nope. The Miz.
The Miz? Is he going to cash in? Does he have money? Who? Is Moneybank already been cashed in?
He still has it. Yep. He still got it. He cashed it in, but he got it back because it wasn't him who cashed it in. Technically, it was John Morrison who cashed it in. And they argued that point, and Adam Pearce was like, you know what? You're right. I don't want to fucking give it to you, but there you go.
I'm going to write Grayson down
That's a
with.
call.
I'm going to write Grayson down for the Miz. That's an interesting angle.
I've got
It
two.
just sounds
I've
to me
got
like
two
if the
theories.
Riders had Riders.
Okay.
I've got
Two theories.
Two theories on it, and the one I want to go with is based on this answer that hopefully someone can answer. How many appearances does Goldberg have left?
Two
None,
or
hopefully.
one. It's not many. It's like one or two. Because he has to have
Because
so
my
many.
assumption is two. And that's my belief. So it would be now, and then it would be Mania. So with that in mind, we've been through the title belt off TV for this number of times. They're not going to put it on Goldberg. Two, they probably still want to go with the plan, because the plan is to have fans in the arena to give Drew McIntyre his true coronation of being a champion with fans present. So he has to lose the title. So that leaves The Miz, who they've been trickling their breadcrumbs out with him beating Otis to get the belt through nefarious means, and his constant interfering in them overcoming him. I think this was the past episode, and taunting with the case. So what I think happens is The Miz comes out, causes a distraction in a way, but Goldberg takes the win. But he, after barely pulling out of like a Claymore kick or some shit like that. So he's still woozy. Then Morrison and Miz come in and double team, cash in, take the belt, and leave.
That sounds immensely logical.
Or maybe it wouldn't work that way. It was Goldberg is about to win, which means Drew would have lost. That's when their interference comes in and they pin Goldberg. But not Drew, to keep Drew semi-strong, but still make Goldberg look strong, who's a part-timer, because he just got shitted on by two people who cashed in and stole the match. And then they leave with the title, which causes this to be a triple threat match, and then Drew McIntyre gets his clean win over the guy who was about to beat him and the guy who shitted both of them.
All right, so here's this contract. He revealed in an interview that he is currently signed to a 2-match-a-year deal that runs through 2023. That means he still has 4 bouts left for the promotion. 2 this year.
5. That's fine. Let's call it 5. So he's got this weekend, 1 other one, and then 2 in 2022 and 2 in 2023.
No, it runs through 2023.
That's why I said it. Yeah, through 2023 would be 2 in 2023, or 2023, 2 in 2022, and
I
then
think-
one left after this weekend.
Until because it says he has 4 bouts left on it left for
Okay,
the promote.
then that just means this year and next year, and he's done. So up
Yeah.
to 2023. Okay, so
But
he'll have 3 left after this
let's
weekend.
not forget when he first signed with the WWE, he only had a 1-year contract.
Mhm.
Like, he's honestly his time in WWE has still been very limited to what somebody who just, if you just followed WWE and never followed WCW or anything else, it's very limited amount of time he's actually been with the company. And it is amazing that he can still get over with a WWE crowd. He can, but it's still something I don't want to see. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But John,
I get why to use him, and if it makes them money, great. But at the same time, I just feel like it shits on people who need it. Goldberg doesn't need it.
Well, there was talk about him having a match against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania this year.
No.
And
No.
if that's the case, he
That's
can
Spear
lose this
versus
fucking
Spear.
match and then still have a fight. Yeah, spear versus spear kind of thing. So, I mean, he could lose this match against fucking McIntyre and still have that match against Reigns at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to belt him. I think because they brought attention to the fact that since he's been back, whenever he faces a champion, he wins. I think this is the year where that ends. I think this is the match where that ends because of the fact that they brought attention to it. I think Drew McIntyre keeps the belt.
all right.
I want you to be right.
I'm going
I
with
want
Mac
you-
just
and
because I
They're
feel
not gonna have that many people at WrestleMania. They're talking about between 3,000 and 5,000. I think it is.
that's a decent number. But I'm going to go with Mac as well because I feel like Goldberg's going to be the obvious choice. I like Grayson's out of the box thinking there. That's a solid go round, and truly, I hope that's what happens because that's something so often obscure. If we called it, that'd be bragging rights for a while.
Grayson could definitely be a booker. I would definitely like to see book stuff. That.
That's what I think, bro.
They did announce the next 3 WrestleManias, locations, and tentative dates.
How weird was that advertisement for it though? Like,
I know it's Stephanie and Triple H, and then they brought in John Cena.
yeah, I was like, what the hell is
Cena's-
going on here? And not that it wasn't entertaining by any means, but it really felt like something they would do a long time ago compared to something now. You know what I mean? Like it really
Had a
felt like
dated
something
feel.
they would have done during the Attitude Era, but it would have been a little more offensive. You
Now-
know?
It reminds me of that fake wrestling that they did on the WWE Network. What the hell is it called?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely had that vibe.
Okay, real quick before we move on to the next thing, since you said Goldberg and Reigns, spear versus spear, at Mania, possibly.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that reminded me of a New Japan match that's coming up at New Beginnings, where it's Tenzan versus Great Okan, Mongolian Chop versus Mongolian Chop. The loser is never to use the Mongolian Chop ever again.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Wait, Tenzan. Is Tenzan the one that was in the NWO at the time? Long time ago?
Yeah, I think he was in the Japanese NWO, yeah.
Japanese. Yeah, okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
And he is known for the Mongolian Chop.
Right.
And so if he loses to the upstart Okan, he's no longer allowed to use his iconic move.
So, well, they can just go to disqualify him for using his iconic move now?
I think so.
Huh.
It's going to be one of those things where he's just not allowed to use it. You know, Japanese culture, the whole honor type of thing. I don't think Tenzan will be one of those people to welch on it. But it made me think, would they do a Reigns and Goldberg spear versus spear? Like that?
Have to drop the other.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be, somebody has to lose the move because fucking Goldberg is a twice-a-year wrestler. But I think that's what they would use to build it up. Who's got the better spear, blah, blah, blah. Which makes me wonder, if they put the placement of the Goldberg match early on the card and he loses, is he going to be a surprise entrant into the fucking Rumble? and is he gonna win the Rumble?
Ooh.
And that would set him up for Roman Reigns. Real simple.
I mean, that could work. It's a weird one, but it could work.
We've seen it before, but not with cross promotion like that. But we have seen that before.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. I mean, and not terribly long ago either. So, let's see. Other than that, let's go with some of the only other confirmed match, and then we'll hit the 3 maybes. So, Reigns versus Owens. Who's going to win? What are we thinking? Stunner versus Spear. Stunner versus Superman Punch.
Reigns. I'm going with Reigns.
If I was just a mark, I'd go for Owens because I love Owens. Like I said to y'all before, he's always going to be Kevin Steen to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a fan of his early work, and I love what he does with WWE, and I'm glad they haven't changed him too awful much. You know, because I like it that he kind of comes off like John Everyman, except not as bad as Eddie Kingston or Sandman. If that makes sense.
Fuck it.
He actually looks like he can keep up with these guys, but he still looks like, hey, I sit in the front row to watch this, but I can do what you do, and just as good. But he actually can do it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not an Eddie Kingston hater like some people in this podcast. But because I think he recently had a really good match with Pac. Honestly, I thought they had a really good match.
Oh yeah, hitting Kingston.
Another one coming up this
was
week.
good.
That's Archer.
But Sandman, holy shit, he's one of the worst workers I've ever seen, ever. But I always loved him when I was a kid. I was like, yeah, here comes Sandman. And then when I actually, became a worker, I was like, oh God, Sandman's terrible. But he looked like John Every Guy. That's what got him over. Steve, Kevin Owens. I always will pull for him, but I do think they're not gonna stop the Roman Reigns train right now. It's not gonna happen.
No,
not gonna happen. Not that he's heel. It makes too much sense. It's just they finally put him in the right momentum that he needs right now, and it works for him. He looks like a heel. It feels right when he does his shit. It doesn't come off as hokey. I'm so glad they got rid of the damn vest. I was like, look, the shield's over. Quit wearing the bullet vest. It makes absolutely no sense. But this works for him. It's going to keep working for a while. They're going to build up him as a big heel champion, I think. But I like the idea of Owens chasing him because Owens seems dangerous for him.
Oh yeah.
So it works. It's going to work. But if Owens did win, I would think it would be WrestleMania, not Rumble. If it was to be like at a big bowling point of their feud. So if something's going to happen, that this is going to keep going.
It's a last man standing match. So I mean, there's a lot of shit that can happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenarios that could come in here that can stop Kevin from, You're going to
see Apollo Crews join Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Are we going to see Jimmy come back and work with them? There's a lot of stuff going into the last man standing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's so many scenarios here. So, but I just don't think Kevin will go over. But of course, the fan in me wants him to go over.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So, Erica Grayson, are you in agreement that Reigns is probably going to come out victorious?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they would
stop the gravy train.
Yeah, he's fine. Like you just said, he's finally. They've been trying to push Roman Reigns for like a decade, and it hasn't been working. It's finally working.
It is true. I mean, this is the only time period where I've even like halfway given a shit about the news of Roman Reigns and anything that's happening, but not so much that I could ever be considered
even like a fair weather fan of Roman Reigns. I mean, fuck it, I think he's got the personality of a fucking dry dog turd.
I agree with that. I agree with that because I hate his promos. I know we've talked about this off air, but I hate his promos. I can't stand it. Let Paul keep doing his damn promos. Yeah. Guess what? That's what Paul's fucking good at.
I know. I hate Lesnar.
He doesn't want to work without Paul Heyman going forward. He said that today.
Yeah, he wanted to work without Paul Heyman going forward? Good luck.
He does not want to work without him.
He wants Heyman.
Without him? Of course not. Yeah. Because I wouldn't either. I'd be like, are you kidding me? Paul
Heyman's 90% of the reason that Brock Lesnar stayed over for so long because Brock can't fucking talk.
Brock's not a good promo at all, but Brock's good at everything else. And I hate to say that because I'm not a fan.
I am not at all.
But I know when something's good, something's good. And I never shit on talent. He's got all the talent in the world, but I don't like his disrespect for actual pro wrestling. It pisses me off.
He's a sack of shit. But moving on. Moving on. I'll get on one of my fucking I hate Brock Lesnar tangents, and I'd rather not because it gets old after a little while.
Dude, you can do a separate video on that. We could
I can do a separate thing.
Especially since he might be coming back to the Rumble.
Oh God. We can talk about that in a minute. But, some rumored matches. We've got 3 different rumored matches. We've got Asuka and Charlotte versus Baszler and Jax. We got Big E versus Sami Zayn for the IC belt. And then we got Lashley and Riddle for the US Championship. So, who do you got in each one?
Well, first I want to give a shout out to my man, Brandon Bishop. I got these rumored matches from his Facebook page, and he's normally got an inside. He's actually worked for WWE before as a Rosebud. He was a hot dog who got beat up here when SmackDown was in Colorado Springs, and he used to run his own promotion here in Colorado Springs, Asylum Championship Wrestling. Dr. Death Steve Williams actually had his last match at Asylum Championship here in Colorado Springs. But the first one, Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Here's my theory on this. Is this going to roll into the Rumble also? Charlotte and Asuka retain. Charlotte is already entered into the Royal Rumble. Charlotte wins the Rumble. WrestleMania sees the tag team partners going at it for the World Championship.
I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
That's a long game.
So you're saying they're going to win?
Yes.
Their match
in the belts.
Yeah.
Charlotte's going to go on to win the Rumble, and they're going to have a match against each other at Mania.
Oh. God, that sounds like such a WWE thing to do.
It does indeed.
Oh, why? I mean, first of all, Charlotte nor Asuka need any more validation as the heavyweight champion. Period. I mean, it's senseless to put it on either one of them now because they don't need it. They don't. No. Neither one of those talents need it. I like them as a tag team, and it you know the difference of styles and their work ethic makes really good for a tag team, I think. And I would hope they'd go over because I'd like to keep this going for a while, but I actually understand where John's coming from on that, and that can possibly happen because they, for whatever reason, and I know the reason. Charlotte is great. Charlotte is really great at what she does, but compared to her father, she has honestly got more accolades over time quicker than her father ever did.
Oh yeah.
But let's be real. Let's be real.
We know why.
We know why. But when Rick did it, Rick actually, when you were the NWA heavyweight champion, yeah, you defended it all over the world. Actually, you know, he went to Europe. He went to, I mean, you can read the story about going to North Korea for WCW. That was shit.
That story was wild.
That'll be an episode of Dark Side of the Ring, I think.
I think so.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
On the new season, I think that's an episode.
I can't wait for that new season. I can't wait.
Oh, God, I'm so ready.
But you know, honestly, you know, like Rick really did. They'd go to Germany, they go whatever, but he'd do it all over the United States for all the different territories. You know, I'm there to put over your top guy because I'm not going to be here next week.
He's a straight up journeyman.
Yeah, and it's not that Charlotte don't put in the actual travel and whatnot. I know WWE has a pretty hectic schedule, but you know, they don't always travel the world. And Rick was probably pretty drunk, probably on cocaine, never slept. You know.
Let's not beat around the bush and say probably. Rick was. And, you know, he definitely put the miles in much more than any of the modern,
anybody in the modern era does at all. They can't even fathom what he
It's
did.
not even a fair comparison.
No.
Like 90% of it, like she's got these accolades much like he did. He earned them the hard way. She's earned them the light way.
But it doesn't mean she's
But
not a
not
hard
through
worker.
a lack of talent.
She is a hard worker. She has
Yeah.
a lot of talent. I would never take that away from her. But yeah, she didn't get that. She is lucky the road she took.
Yeah.
Even though she did pay for it, you know, it didn't come for free.
No.
You know, she's tough.
Yeah.
And she deserves everything that comes to her. But at the same time, she's at that point of her career now where she doesn't need it.
Nope.
Why is she in the main event for a title again? For God's sake.
It's just classic WWE is what it is.
Right.
It's like every time she comes up, they're going to put her in the title picture. She was out injured for fucking like the entire year. As soon as she's back, put a belt on her, get her ready. But so before we get too far down, because that's definitely a rambling road we can take for God knows how long.
And the Jaeger's kicking in. So
yeah. His talking juice. But so Chapel, I take it you're going with Asuka and Charlotte, even though they don't need it.
I think I want them to do it. I want them to be over, but I can see the other point of view as well.
Yeah.
But I'm going for Asuka and Charlotte. I want them to.
Grayson?
Tough.
You going AC or BJ?
I know. It's tough. It's a tough question. If I have to choose, I mean, I'm going BJ all day.
I'm glad.
No, I mean, it really depends on how it's going out. It's going down because you guys aren't looking at it.
That was great.
The thing that's just sticking right out in your face, and that's Lacey Evans.
Ooh.
No title picture with her. Miss Charlotte works with that feud at all. Nothing. That belt is useless. So I'm gonna say Nia Jax and Shayna get it because maybe Lacey might fuck her or something. It depends on when the card's laid out. You know, it could be the women's rumble at the beginning, and then my whole theory goes out the window or something. Or they could keep it. It goes either way. That match goes either way. I could see them keeping the tag title, but Charlotte's not winning the Rumble. It's just not happening. Something's gonna happen with Lacey Evans at the Rumble, and either Lacey's gonna get a conniving toss out of her, or they're gonna have the over dramatic feud thing where Charlotte comes out on top, eliminating her, but because she's like taunting or being Charlotte Flair, she gets eliminated by someone else. So Charlotte's not winning the Rumble, in my opinion. Could be wrong.
I have a backup guesser for a winner for the female Rumble.
All right.
So,
so I don't think Charlotte will win. The tag title, I don't really think they need the belt, so I kind of think they should lose. But at the same time, that's technically a double loss for Charlotte on a pay-per-view, so it doesn't really go anywhere unless it is. Lacey costs them the tag titles, so she gets her revenge at the Rumble, but that causes her to also get eliminated at the Rumble, so it kind of evens out somewhat. And that's the only plausible thing to keep this feud going because they don't have a match. And I think their match culminates at the WrestleMania. Or at least Chamber.
They've got something else going on, though. The fact that she's trying to shoot up her father.
Yeah, which still, I think I said last week, makes no sense because they push her as the mother of a daughter, a military veteran. And here she is, just gallivanting around for some old D.
Oh, boy.
But so, yeah, for this one, how long has Charlotte and Asuka have the tag title?
It's been 4 or 5 months since she's been back. Since Charlotte's been back, so like 3-4 months maybe.
It's time. That train is sailed. I think I'm going to go with. I doubt it, but I'm going to go with Jackson Baszler.
Okay. All right, Eric.
Yeah, I think Charlotte and Asuka don't need the title. I'll be honest. Charlotte is one of my favorite modern wrestlers. Over almost anybody. She's amazing when she gets her chance to like really showcase what she can do. That said, she doesn't need that title to be that character. To be in the #1 slot, she doesn't need it. And I would say Golden Age Charlotte, Lacey Evans probably cost them the match, so they keep the heat up between the two of them. And they've wanted to push Shayna Baszler pretty hard. It just seems to they pushed her really hard on NXT, but they really haven't since she came up to the main roster. So maybe it's time for that.
Well, that was Vinnie Mac's call.
Yeah.
He lost confidence in her.
It's like, for me, it's like I'm not going to. Like I already said when Chappell was talking, it's like I'm not going to like downplay Charlotte's skills, but I cannot divorce myself from being friends with people that knew her directly in college and how big of a two-faced bitch she was. I can't. I've got friends that went to her parties when we were in college.
I'm sure she is. I'm not doubting that.
Oh, no. It's just like
he knows
knowing it.
The people, shit happens. Yeah. But my point of view is I just look at talent because I don't know anybody personally, and I like it that way in a lot of ways because I have learned over the years from being such a fanboy and like heavy metal and stuff that sometimes when you meet people, it's not what you think it is.
So let's make these last two pretty quick without too much exposition. So Big E and Sami Zayn, who you got?
Big E.
Big E. Let Big E just keep it, please.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn is such a good heel. Even I want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Plus, him chasing the belt is better than him having the belt.
Exactly. I think I like him better as a heel in WWE than as a babyface. But if he's El Generico, of course I want him to be a babyface.
I'm going with Big E just because I think Big E needs a real push that's not New Day related.
He does, and he's needed this for so long.
Yeah. And Grace, how about you?
It's Big E.
Big E.
I
have a feeling
Xavier Woods this week.
Because Zayn's your boy, but
no, Zayn's my boy, but I mean, Big E deserves something finally. So give him.
I'm right there with you. Big E's been shit on for too long, or just been considered too comedy to have anything.
Right.
He's finally getting his NXT intensity back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So next, Lashley versus Riddle for the U.S.
Cares. Oh.
Who cares?
Sorry.
Oh shit. I say Lashley because they're shitting on Riddle now anyway. So why would they're not going to shit on Lashley?
I think you're probably right. I'm gonna go with Lashley. No, which way was it? Who? Shit. Was it Apollo or Lashley that's rumored to jump over to Reigns?
Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews. Okay, I keep getting them mixed up in my head for some reason. I wanted to double check.
Firmly in with the Hurt Business. He ain't going anywhere.
Well, I still think they need to make the Hurt Business look strong, so that's one of the things I'm going to go with Lashley there. Okay. John?
I'm going to be the odd man out. I'm going Riddle. But I went with Riddle last time they fought on a pay-per-view and was wrong. I'm going to pull a Grayson and stick with Riddle. And when they have another match at WrestleMania, I'm going to have to go with Lashley, and then that's when Riddle will win it.
Oh, so you're pulling that one, eh? Well, it worked out well for Grayson the last. And speaking of Grayson, yourself?
I'm curious to see how it plays out because Riddle did earn his title shot by beating the other 3 members of a thing. The Hurt Business, which was actually kind of funny that he beat MVP with a submission hold, since MVP just won a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion.
Yeah.
That was just, I don't know, that was just too funny not to...
Well, that's also good since, Riddle does, the MMA stuff too, so it only makes sense that he would do that, almost like an insult.
Yeah. But, it's curious... I think it'll be a good fight, but I think the Hurt Business will come out on top.
Okay.
It's just Riddle is not believable in beating Bobby Lashley in a wrestling capacity at this time.
I think he would beat him in the MMA fight, period.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even though Lashley does MMA as well, but
yeah,
it's a little different.
Lashley, I've seen Matt Riddle fight compared to what I've seen Lashley fight, and it's apples and oranges.
And finally, the Spider. What you got?
I'm gonna say Lashley. Same reasons. They're pushing the Hurt Business right now. Riddle's kind of on the outs.
Makes sense. Now, the part we've been working towards for so long. We get to ramble about some rumbles. I know. We touched on a little bit on the ladies' rumble earlier. Do we know who all is officially in it, or is it just one of those things we're just gonna throw some names at a wall and see who sticks?
I've got the list so far.
Yeah, there's only like a short list last I saw.
Yeah, right now for the women we have Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair,
God damn it, please no.
Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler, Tamina, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross.
Let's see. No. I'm going to, just because it's been a little bit, and she's got a weird story going right now, I'm going to give it to Alexa Bliss.
That's who I was thinking. Even though I don't feel like it'll happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, the big story right now is Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. She recently had her Ultra Instinct against Asuka and blocked all her shots until she went for a chokehold or something like that. So I don't know. I feel like to continue the story in a way, she would need to do that because she's going to be the new Fiend, and I think at WrestleMania, if there's fans there, that's the way to introduce Alexa Bliss's Fiend version.
I like that idea. So, will there be 2 Fiends, or is she going to basically steal the Fiend persona from Bray?
I think she's taking the persona, and he has to be reincarnated as something, because it kind of is like he's a spirit now.
Okay.
Because in all her little playgrounds, she's talking to him, but you just see the stuff kind of move ever so slightly.
Gotcha.
The one I think will win actually goes out to my wife, who I love beyond forever. She's going to hate me for it, but yeah, I'm going Alexa Bliss because it's Alexa Bliss.
Fair enough.
Good call.
I'm going to be in the doghouse for that one because it's going to be out there. But
Chapel likes his femme fatales.
right, that makes sense.
Out of the ones mentioned so far, John, how about you? What you thinking?
Okay, so I already said my theory with Charlotte and Flair, and I'm sticking with that. I think Charlotte Flair is going to win. If that doesn't work out, I'm going Bianca Belair.
I hate you so much. The two people I hate the most. Like, Charlotte is a really talented wrestler. I cannot take that away from her, but as Will said, fuck her as a person. I will never actually like her. Bianca Belair, she's so overrated. She's not that good, and she just whips her hair back and forth, and it's not believable.
I want someone to just...
She jumped rope with it this week.
I don't give a fuck what she did. Until she cuts, until there's a video of someone just taking some scissors and cutting it off. I don't care. Someone Harriet the Spy that shit.
What they're going to do. This is what's going to happen. It's going to be really shitty, and it's going to prove how bad WWE is, but it's almost on brand. They're going to take Alexa Bliss, and when she becomes the Fiend, she's also going to become the reincarnation of Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and she's going to cut their fucking hair off. It's going to be a double whammy.
It'll be that actual theme song too.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just going to be a reason to put her in fishnets and weird gloves.
Give her fucking garden shears instead of actual scissors.
Yeah, exactly. And Eric, your Lady Rumble predictions?
I could actually see them giving it to Bianca Belair. I totally get it why they would do it. I'm one of my favorite indie wrestlers to come into NXT is Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess she's gonna run in at some point, and I'm hoping for her.
Okay.
Well, you can be wrong.
I'm
I would love to see that.
That's usually reserved for John, but I like Shotzi, but that is one long shot of a pick, bro.
right.
If that happens, send me a shoe and I'll lick it. We will put it on the Instagram and blur my face out, but I will lick that shoe.
So, the biggest thing about any of the Rumbles is secret run-ins. So or secret entrants that no one really guesses are going to happen. So who do we think could pop up in the Women's Rumble that we just wouldn't expect at all? Or who do you think's the most obvious?
I think it's on point with the NXT call-ups. We're going to see them again. We saw them a couple years ago where they did really well. Bianca Belair was one of them. I would love Shotzi Blackheart to be one of them. Candice LeRae, you can almost guarantee is going to be one of them, the way she is right now.
Since they just got her, Priscilla Kelly's going to be there.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be pushing her as an indie individual just yet.
It's the Rumble. It doesn't matter. If they're going to bring her in, they need to bring her in at the Rumble just to get that pop from people to recognize. And that's going to put
the Dusty Road as a tag team.
Yeah, but still.
She's in the Dusty Road Women's Tag Team Classic in a tag team capacity. So I don't think that they're going to push her as a singles competitor just yet. I don't
see just her showing up as the Rumble as being a reason to push her as a singles competitor. I see it as a reason to pad the women's roster in the Rumble and to also give someone that's fresh into WWE more exposure and also make anyone that followed her from the indies happy to see her show up at one of the big pay-per-views.
But they
She's not going to win.
Reason. they didn't sign her alone. They signed 2 other individuals with her, made the announcement of all 3 of them at the same time. They didn't single her out. There was no fanfare behind her. So I think you're looking at her bigger than they look at her.
Well, still yet, it's something to do. It's new talent. People will be surprised, and she has enough weird internet notoriety for people to want to see her show up.
Yeah, she's a tampon chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I think she would pop in.
Silly Kelly's totally tainted tampons.
Yeah, 100%.
She's a sponsor. We love her.
Yeah, exactly. Except John doesn't love her because he doesn't think she's going to show up.
I don't think they're going to push her like that.
It's not a push. It's just a show up at the Rumble. It's a Rumble run-in. They don't count as a push.
Sure it does. They're giving you a rub if they're putting you in the Rumble.
Yeah. She'll come in, she'll be thrown over the ropes, and then it'll be done. That's not necessarily a rub. That's a, hey, look, all right, bye.
I think she'll get that.
What I want to happen is I want Sensational Sherry to be resurrected from the dead and come in and show these bitches how to really work. Because she worked better than any man back in the day. She took so much stuff. She was tougher than anybody I've ever seen.
I would go with her, bring her back, or go back in time and get early to mid-90s Bull Nakano.
God, Bull Nakano. Her and Medusa would have some really... Well, she was a Lunger Blaze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those matches were great. I can remember those as a kid, and I was like, man, that's great. You know, but they were like the only women wrestlers on the show.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. You know,
those...
At that era. You know, it was just such a... More of an attraction than anything. You know, now it's modern. But
I give it...
You know, there was very little women's wrestling during the 90s. You know?
I give it like 20 years before some random, like, person at WWE's like, you know, remember that Tupac hologram from like 25 years ago? Let's do that, but with wrestlers.
Right? I can see it happening. I really can. Which is sad, but I can see it happening. I mean, like, I saw the Tupac one, and I was like, oh no, they did a Ronnie James Dio one too. Oh, yeah. I love it, but I hate it all at the same time.
I know. Any other fanboy picks or possible like theoretical ideas of who could show up?
I'd imagine Lita will show up, and Holly. They're almost there. They're almost there every year.
Yeah, Molly Holly.
Yeah,
Molly Hollywood. I really do. She is so awesome.
She did really good a couple years ago.
Oh, I like to see. You know, she deserves more credit than she's given.
Oh, of course.
What's her face will be back? Eva Marie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
really,
that would be a place to put her in. Would be the Rumble.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah, eliminate her and then send her back to not being a wrestler.
What was that whole shit they were doing there for a while where she would come out, they'd hit her music, and then like she'd have a wardrobe malfunction and then didn't wrestle. It was like
and then they were like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
Pretty much saw you naked. We're done.
So what you're saying here is that's going to be a thinly veiled reason to bring like Stacy Keibler back.
Yeah, but Stacy Keibler had something.
Not coming back. She's had children.
I know she's not.
She's not. But you know, Stacy really had it still. Even though was she the greatest worker? No, she had really good girls working with her back then, and you know, but still, she wasn't the worst. I mean, she had some really good times in the company and looked good while doing it. And hell, she even bagged George Clooney for a little while, so good for her.
Well, we know who Chapel's man crush is now.
Did you say man crush?
Yes, I said man crush.
Oh.
George Clooney.
Yeah.
George Clooney. Yeah. Oh,
He gets
Well,
swoony
he's a
for
pretty
Clooney.
handsome bitch.
All right. I don't know what to go after that.
I was like, oh, right.
All right. So, now, the big one. The one that I refuse to add that third word to it because it doesn't fucking need it. The Royal Rumble itself.
Ooh.
I won't say it. I will not add the third word. But, the Rumble.
The third word.
I'm not going to say it.
The
Fuck
word is match.
Fuck you.
I literally
Don't
had
need
no
to put it on
idea.
there.
I was literally trying to figure it out. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
On it last week.
Nothing. And I'll do it again right now. Nothing. Like, there is very little in terms of, like, product, I guess you could say product branding or, like, announce team bullshit that annoys me more than the fact that they have to add that word to the end of the Royal Rumble every fucking time they mention it. No. Yes, the Royal Rumble is a pay-per-view, but when you say Royal Rumble, you don't think of all the bullshit singles matches that go with it. You think of the Royal Rumble. That's it. You don't need to add the other word. We're not fucking stupid.
You don't know me. You don't know my life.
I've known your life for years. Shush.
We sure wrote for 20
No.
fucking years.
Hey, Will. Will, I got a question for you. What are those little wooden things that you use to light fires?
Those are little fire sticks. There's a little fact.
Who do we got? The contestants we have so far for the Royal Rumble, we have Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Otis, The Miz, Jey Uso, Cesaro, Jeff Hardy, Edge, John Morrison, Mustafa Ali, and Sheamus. Those are the only ones that they've got listed so far. So, here's a theory that I have.
Okay.
As far as like, surprise entrance, who's coming in. I think we're going to see Andrade again.
Yeah.
Andrade comes back. I think we see Aleister Black come back. But something is going to be different about him. They're going to change his character. They're going to do something. But it's not going to be the same Aleister Black that we saw before.
Do you think they'll put Killer Cross in there or Karrion Kross?
I hope so. That was one of the people from NXT I was going to suggest. Karrion Kross, Tommaso Ciampa, or Damian Priest, because Damian Priest was supposed to have a call-up already, and for whatever reason it got pushed back. So that would be a good way to bring him in. And also Johnny Gargano. If they're going to do Candice LeRae in the women's, they're going to do Gargano in the men's.
Yeah, I see that. That's a pretty safe choice. Looking at the people on the list right now, I don't see anyone of the announced names being like a winner.
Chicken dinner.
I don't see anyone on there being someone that's going to win the Rumble to get that title shot. It's going to definitely be someone that hasn't been announced yet. It's going to be a sneaky sleeper.
Brock Lesnar.
Fucking kill me.
Fuck no.
That'd be awful.
Just shoot me.
You know what I hope happens? I hope Otis wins. You know why? Because I feel like Otis is my spirit animal. If you've ever seen a picture of me, or seen me.
Out of his
I'm not as big as Otis, but I'm very body shaped like Otis. But you know, I feel for my ginger bearded friend, and I always pull for him in anything. But what I think would happen, and I would hope would happen, but I know it's not going to happen, is I hope whatever Bray Wyatt is reincarnated as will come in and just destroy everybody, because he's the best thing going on in the company, straight up.
And he's not even there.
He's not even there. after being apparently burned alive by Randy Orton, which was, I'm like, Jesus Christ, have we really come to that? But it's like, you could get away with a character like that, like what Bray Wyatt does, compared to anybody else on the entire roster, because he's sort of put in that point of view like the Undertaker. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Kane put him in a casket and set him on fire, for Christ's sake.
Outside of a few missteps with it at the beginning, the Fiend is one of the few things they've done fucking right.
Right.
Yep.
For sure. But they kind of dropped the ball in some points, and it's like that whole red light bullshit. It's like, look, I do not want to watch this entire match with that fucking red light. It's super distracting. Go fuck yourself. Let's have an actual match where people can fucking see it. And I just hated little shit like that. And other than that, I love the character. I honestly love Bray Wyatt. Was born to do this business. Hands down. He's probably the most talented, and that character's his. They didn't come up with that. He come up with that.
Yeah, and the mask and everything. He worked with that horror dude to make the fucking mask.
Yep,
that's all.
Exactly.
Which horror dude?
The guy who runs Tom Savini helped him design that mask and make that mask.
That's some fucking pedigree right there.
Yeah, he's like the king.
No joke.
Has everybody said their Royal Rumble who they think or whatever?
I did not, but I don't really have a pick. I don't think it's anyone who's been announced.
Well, just wink it. That's what I did.
Here's what I'm going to say. I don't know who's going to fucking win. I like the idea of the Fiend winning. It makes sense to be a good reason to bring him back, and also a good reason to have him super hyped up for like some sort of build to being like destroyed or reincarnated at WrestleMania. Call it the spirit of the Fiend came in and ran train on the fucking Royal Rumble. Who knows? I like that idea.
There's a lot of stories, though. Like, I like the idea of Sheamus winning.
I would like to see a redemption story for Sheamus, too. He's been shit on for years. And I just hope that
his character versus Drew McIntyre for a while now. And he fuck around and he wins the Rumble. He gets McIntyre at fucking WrestleMania. And they've been playing up the storyline of these two. They signed their WWE contracts together on the same day. They've been friends for a while. Sheamus gave him his new ring gear, all this shit. I could see that.
If we're going that route, like as in like hard work and deserves it, Cesaro deserves it more than anybody in that.
Agreed.
Cesaro deserves everything.
Everything.
Yep.
That dude.
Him and Shinsuke deserve the world.
Shinsuke don't need it.
Like, I know he doesn't need it, but they deserve it.
He's so comfortable where he is right now. You know what I mean? He's in America. He loves where he lives. He loves that he's got good, honest work in what he does. He don't, I mean, it is WWE, but at the same time, he's got a steady paycheck. He's making good money. He's living where he wants to live. He's living his life, and he worked hard, super hard for it. So he deserves it. You know what I mean? So he knows he doesn't need a lot of anything. He knows he needs to put on a good performance, and he does some of the best. I love Shinsuke. Ever since watching him and AJ Styles, good God, back in the day. I'm not talking WWE. I'm talking New Japan. That's, Shinsuke is the man, period. But he deserves everything he has right now. He's like, maybe he's just comfortable. I mean, his matches are not what they were in New Japan, but they're still better than most matches in the WWE.
It's true.
Who's Eric got on this one? I'm curious.
What everybody has said has made a lot of sense. Like, I could see it being the Fiend. I'm not as big a fan of him as everyone else is, but story-wise, it makes sense. I kind of want somebody new. I kind of want somebody that we wouldn't expect.
Dominic Mysterio.
Who?
Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, Dominic Mysterio. Well, I'd like it to be somebody that deserves it as well. Not that I'm against Dominic. He's just, he's still a rookie. We talked about him earlier. Like, it would be awesome if it was like somebody like Ricochet or blanking on his name. You mentioned he was on the list. He wears the Iron Man light in his hand.
Oh,
Mustafa
Gargano.
Ali.
Or no, Ali. Yeah, Mustafa Ali.
But he's Retribution now, so.
Oh, is he? Okay. But, I mean, he'd be a good choice. Morrison always
his
great.
storyline right now, because with his storyline, he's seeking revenge against Kofi Kingston, who took his spot when he got injured in the Elimination Chamber and stole his moment at WrestleMania. And he's got a faction behind him with 3 dudes and a chick. So I mean, if they're in the ring with him, that's the potential is there, dude.
Yeah, that's a solid story too, and so I mean, it could be anyone. And it's such a hard. As much as is predictable with WWE, there's just as much that's not.
For the Rumble, 100%.
Yeah, especially at the Rumble. So, but let's face it, it's probably gonna be Brock Lesnar, and.
Oh,
God.
boy.
God, I hope not. I don't ever want him to come back. Like,
I don't want Brock ever to return. I want him to just be a figment and a thing of the past.
Yep.
I agree.
Myself, winner-wise, I think I've already mentioned, but now when it comes to possible surprise entrance, I'm going to, go slightly against some of her personal thoughts. I'm going to say this might be that moment where, even though, we've already talked about contract stuff, this could be where Jay White makes his childhood dream come true. Do I think it's going to happen 100%? Fuck no. But do I secretly kind of want to see it happen? Just for the pop? Yes. Just for the pop.
Are there any big names out there that are free agents right now that we're missing?
I try my damnedest to rack my mind, and the only, and just because of the promo, and even though I still, like we said, we think it's that long format work, Jay White's the only one that comes to fucking mind.
But we don't even know that he's a
Exactly.
free agent.
Exactly. You think Rollins will come back?
Possibly. He's ready to.
What about, you think Lynch, or is she still more or less maternity leave for an extended period of time?
I just sent the picture.
Yeah, I saw the picture. That's kind of what made me think of it.
Nah, too early for her to come back.
Yeah. You think, what about, just one more for the ladies. What about a Rousey?
Yeah, there's definitely potential there. There's a lot of talk about her coming back. In that same part, there's also talk about her husband making a debut because he's been training us also. So in the men's Royal Rumble, he could be a surprise entrant. Travis, the hell's his name?
Travis Brown.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, we'll make the gratuitous, everyone says it every year, CM Punk.
Number 13.
Number 13. Let's see. I'm gonna take another trip in the time machine. I'm gonna bring back. Let's see, 90. Let's say I'm gonna say somewhere between 95 and 98. Vampiro with the Misfits as entrance.
Just watch that today too.
Getting her ass kicked by Tank Abbott? No thanks.
Oh.
I'm a Misfits fan, and that hurt me so bad seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
So bad.
Agreed.
Oh.
God, but that documentary was fucking good.
Yeah.
I do need to see that. I do need to see that.
It's like I watched that, and then the next day, a buddy of mine told me that You Can't Kill David Arquette was on Hulu streaming finally. And
Watching that tomorrow.
I got like I got like 30 or 40 minutes into it, and at the same time, I couldn't help but just feel bad for him when those kids in Richmond were just dogging the shit out of him.
Oh yeah, they dog.
I was like, oh my god, these dudes are fucking out for blood. They're not. He thinks he's there to have fun. They're out to just fucking humiliate him, and I felt bad for him. I don't see how people can hate him that much. I mean, I really don't.
Even at the time,
why is it his fault? WCW made that decision.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Vince Russo made that decision.
Yeah.
Hey, still though, I mean, it had to be approved.
That one was hilarious.
The whole idea is even in Ric Flair's book, Ric Flair said, my advice to David was to buy everybody drinks.
And I'm sure he did.
And he did. He bought everybody drinks. He said, be humble. He said, don't, he said he told him everything to do, that night. He's like even Rick said, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
That wasn't my decision. That was just a company decision.
Rick was just like, I gave him my blessing, but I didn't give him my blessing to be in the locker room.
Well, yeah, exactly. He didn't deserve. In that time period, he didn't deserve that.
No.
But television is television, and David Arquette was who he was in like the late '90s and shit. So, but
David Arquette. That's the secret entry. There it is.
The
David Arquette.
I'm for it.
I'm fucking for it. There, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. David Arquette in the Rumble. I'm trying my damnedest to think of some other people, and I just can't. I can't think of a fucking.
Are there any other injuries? Tucker, I think is just coming back from injury. So he might be there.
I could see him coming back and then just going hog wild after Otis if they're still feuding, technically.
Let me see. I saw earlier an injury report. Give me.
You think the Viking Raiders will be in it?
Maybe
no.
one of them. The other guy is like hardcore injured.
Yeah. Eric is the only one around right now, but I don't think they would waste a spot on someone that mid card.
I think they would. It's the Royal Rumble. It doesn't have any true logic unless you're hitting those peak numbers that really have a pop. Like, unless it's like first slot's always going to be good, last slot's always going to be good, and like 3 or 4 of them in the middle are going to be pretty good. The rest of it's who the fuck ever. So it's like 115 and 30 are always going to be your best.
Yeah. So Kofi's definitely not coming back. He's out injured. Andrade had minor elective procedure on October 14th. So again, I see him coming back.
Yeah.
Naomi in the female, in the women's Royal Rumble, I could see her coming back. Braun Strowman, we haven't seen him in a while. He had a knee injury. I could see him coming back. There's a female wrestler by the name of Kavita Devi, who's an Indian wrestler. She was supposed to be on Superstar Spectacle. She was part of the advertisement and everything. They pulled her at the last minute because she had a family matter to attend to in India. If that matter is attended to by the time the Royal Rumble is, I could see them giving her that since she lost out on her spot on Superstar Spectacle. I could see them putting her in the Rumble.
Works out. I think it would be a smart move for some cross promotion for that show, and they are wanting to expand that market there. It would.
They
make
announced
sense.
India Performance Center, like at that show. They said it's going to be open within months.
Then that's all the more reason to have it. So that automatically means they'll probably have gender getting hindered at some point in the Rumble.
Or they'll bring the other guy in, the guy who wrestles twice a year. What the hell's his name? No, he's Saudi Arabia. He's not India. They got a couple of Indian names, though. They had a guy, called Guru Raj, who was like a high flyer Indian food. There was a couple other of them that I could see them working with in the Rumble.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think the Rumble will shape up. The Rumble is like the hardest fucking like match there is to predict, especially since they've gotten real stingy with like announcing who's going to be in it over the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
But all things considered,
done is that they did something different this year also, where they allowed certain superstars to announce their entry into the Royal Rumble. They didn't have to qualify. You know, some people tried to make their way in, but they used something different this year where people could just declare their entry into the Rumble. And Adam Pearce went on Twitter and said that invitations were extended to certain individuals for entrance into the Royal Rumble. They didn't have to qualify or anything else. They could elect to accept it and be in it or not. But that's why certain people were allowed to and other people were not. So at least they addressed it.
On that note, I think it's time to start wrapping it up, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because I think
You're
time getting everyone. We're running out of steam in terms of trying to figure out people that are coming to the Rumble. That I really think we've got to see if we can top last week's sponsors.
Oh, all right.
Keep it going for a minute.
Keep it going for a minute. Okay,
Keep it going.
for a minute.
Yeah,
I'm not as good at keeping it going as
keep going.
Keep it going, John. Yeah, give
on
me
that note,
tell us something.
Eric, if you got a dip, you're more than welcome to dip right now. That's fine. We're just gonna.
I do thank you guys for having me on again. I'm happy to come back anytime.
Oh yeah, it's always fun. Always. You just we'll let you know if anything. If we do another fun time, just silly show where there's no real business, like a watch along or something like that, we'll definitely shoot something over.
Yeah.
We watched No Holds Barred.
Oh God. I'm okay with that.
Zeus.
As long as we're not watching any of the movies where they try to make any of the wrestlers look like good actors, I'm for it. So I'm not going to watch The Marine. I'm not going to watch any of the fucking Triple H movies, any of Stone Cold's movies.
What? Not the Condemned?
I will watch Thunder in Paradise.
I watched it when it was on air, dude.
I know. I will watch Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Oh, that one's amazing.
I know. It's so good. I will watch a movie that has a good wrestler fucking cameo. So, the first Spider-Man. I'm for it.
Watch Spider-Man, dude.
Macho Man.
All right.
Okay,
Sponsor
guys.
time.
Good night.
See you, buddy.
Later, buddy.
Later, dude.
So, this week we got 3 new sponsors, as always. Any names or likeness to any celebrities is pure coincidental. No person has actually endorsed or sells this product. This product is not real, and anything associated with anyone is in pure jest. They have no affiliation with this, nor anything such and such, so on and so forth. So, sponsors. This one, the first one we got. I want to start with this one just because they kind of quit trying to sell the product, and it seems like they just kind of got off topic there during it. Forewarning, there is some expletives in this one. I don't think anyone fucking cares because that's all we fucking do. But yeah, so here we go. Here's our first sponsor. Do you build a career on the coattails of a sport that's popular for 1 week out of the year? Did this sport ever wrong you in any way? Do you have a potential conversational show on a popular streaming website where you complain about everything that's wrong with it now, despite the fact it's roughly the same? Well, come on down to Jim Cornette's Badminton Racket Emporium. Here, you can find all your badminton needs. We've got birdies, we've got nets, we've got rackets, tantrums, and profanities. This isn't a joke. Fuck you. You're wrong. Let me tell you why. Vince Russo likes tennis. So fuck it. badminton. You know the saying, the grass is greener on the other side? Well, if Vince Russo was there, he's probably dead. I mean, picking out Vince Russo's faults could be a full-time job. Vince Russo ruined wrestling. David Arquette shouldn't have been champion. On a pole match sounds like Russo's Friday night. Hell, I'm on a low-carb, sugar-free diet just to outlive that guy. So yeah, fuck it. Badminton. Russo ruined tennis. He didn't leave a promo code. I'm pretty sure he just got pissed and went on a rant.
Just so you know, he if that was him that gave you that, he fucked up. The birdie is called a shuttlecock.
Yeah, well, he wrote birdie, so. Shuttlecock sounds like another Saturday night for Russo, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that was Jim Cornette's Badminton Racket Emporium. Not really sure what he did there near the end, but man, he hates Vince Russo.
Oh yeah, that's a deep.
Next, are you struggling to figure out what's for dinner? Are you craving something sweet, maybe salty, or maybe you just want some spice? Well, struggle no more and bring these flavors from the Caribbean and more with Kofi Kingston's premium faux jerk chicken. You'll be the toast of the town when you appropriate this cultural classic dish with all your American friends. With Kofi Kingston's premium Boom Boom faux jerk chicken, you'll get our premium 80% all-white meat chicken fused with our special smoking agent, which is then soaked in our secret blend of islandy flavors for the perfect staycation taste. Trouble in paradise is only an issue if you don't serve this at your favorite Sweet 16. Let us put the Boom Boom on dinner for the 1, 2, 3. With promo code LANA, we'll give you 25% off your order if you pair it with the Ravishing Russians Premium Faux Marlinka. These honey cakes will crush you.
Wow.
Lana Crush. All I'm thinking about while you're saying that one was the spot with Triple H and Kofi Kingston where Triple H looks at him and goes, "Wait, I thought you were Jamaican."
I mean, that's why it's premium faux jerk chicken, I'm pretty sure.
All white meat.
80% all white meat chicken.
Well, if that was the intent, good job.
Woo!
So,
Love our sponsors.
personal question. How close are you to having relations with 10,000 women? Are you at 2, 5, 9, 16? When was the last time you went around saying you had relations with Halle Berry? Most likely never. Well, there is now a product specifically made for you to enrich your private life and put a little flair in your pants. With this product, you can forever feel like the Nature Boy yourself with the Nature Boy's Flair for All Dick Skirts. This patented product is soft and delicate satin fabric which comes complete with sequins and feathery cut rim. This product is simply slipped around your member towards the base of the shaft and you're ready for your match. Regardless of if you're coming down the ramp at Halloween Havoc or even WrestleMania, you'll be strutting your stuff like a 16-time world champion. Whether you're joining the Mile High Club or the Mile Drive Club, all the ladies will swoon for you. Be the styling, profiling, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun. The Nature Boy's Flair for All Dick Skirts make the ladies go woo! Enter your promo code DAVID and get a complimentary at least one of my kids succeeded at wrestling t-shirt. Absolutely free.
Wow.
Nature Boy's Flair for All Dick Skirts.
The silent clap at the end of that was the icing on the cake.
Well, that was all our sponsors. So, you know, Omaha Chiclets and whatnot.
All the old ones that we ran into the ground.
Yeah, they don't give us money anymore. I mean, I don't think these guys do either, but at least they're fun.
No blue chew.
That's turquoise dip.
Yeah, gentlemen, I guess that's it.
Oh wait, no. We had one more sponsor.
Oh shit, another sponsor.
Oh, creeped in here.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
We want to give a special shout out to And the Polar and our sound guy Falcon, who makes us not sound like total dog shit. You want to sound okay? Call Falcon. Oh, and check out all their videos on YouTube. At some point, Video Game Again will be there. They talk about video games. They talk about music. They do all the stuff you love and more on their YouTube. Just go to YouTube, enter in the search bar, and the Polar.
Also, I'm in a lot of their videos because I'm in that and the polar.
He is. And he makes us sound more than okay. He makes us sound great, even though we are just okay.
I can't feed his ego too much. Capital will yell at me.
I'll allow it.
No, Falcon's great. But with that, we here would like to bid you adieu. So long and good night.
Hey, I have to say, fellas, I really appreciate you guys having me on for like my third appearance on this podcast. Every time has been a blast. I love talking to you guys, and I love y'all hearing my rants about pro wrestling. And
two more episodes.
I help
you get to join
accentuate
the
this
Five Timers
product.
Club.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Two more appearances, and you get to join the Five Timers Club, like on Saturday Night Live.
We need to sign him. We need to sign him to a Goldberg contract.
Yes, that's great. Yeah, I need one of those Goldberg
year.
2 times a year, baby.
Fuck it, I'm doing it anyway. All right. Want to thank everyone again for being here for the first annual Post to Post Wrestling Royal Ramble. Want to thank our special guest, Eric El Aranya, the female spider. Originally, we had to change that. We got the Carolina bad boy, Corey Chappell in the house, also from Man the Polar. As always, the Brothers of Discussion and myself, drummer John Weatherman, our special correspondent for the episode. Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about us. We are growing, 1 or 2 listeners a week, but we got people listening. Also, don't forget to play Where's Douchebag? I want to see some pictures on our Facebook page of the douchebag. If you need to see what he looks like, go to our Facebook page and look for the post. I'll put up some new ones every time I see that motherfucker. And if anybody knows him, get him to fucking call in or write us or something, and we'll put him on the fucking show. I'll make him famous. Fuck it. All right, you guys have a good night. Thanks again for listening. We are out of here, dudes.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
All right. Good night.